back to Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones recap show that's all about the ladies. Here are last week's standings. In last, we have Cersei Lannister with -5 points. In fourth place, we have Daenerys and also Ygritte, who we felt needed to be added to the board since, she's probably going to get some points this week. They both currently have 0 points. We have Margaery Tyrell with 2.5 points. And then in second place, we actually have Olenna Tyrell, because you guys voted for her, and so she made a strong appearance on the board right away and currently has 3 points. And we have a 3-way tie for the lead at the moment between Sansa Stark, Arya Stark, and Brienne of Tarth, each of whom have 5 points. So this week we're going to start at the top of the board here with Margaery Tyrell.
No points for Margaery, I don't think.
I agree.
She's a very cunning person. This clearly took her by surprise.
Yeah.
At first I thought, oh, she's going to be on board with this. And then when you realize she's very surprised, I kind of want to go, really? You thought you could handle Joffrey? Like, you're smart, but clearly this was a preemptive decision that needed to be made.
Yeah. Daenerys Targaryen. Girl was speaking that high Valyrian again.
I would argue that Daenerys should get 2 points for that speech alone. Just showing tactically she knows who she should be talking to. She's learned from Karth. When she was in Karth, she was yelling at people who were like, yeah. She knows her audience. She knows who she needs to talk to. And she understands that if she can get to the slaves, the army will revolt from inside.
2 points to Daenerys for the high Valyrian and the impressive grasp on strategy. Cersei Lannister. This was a rough episode for Cersei.
Horrible things are happening to her.
I know.
Yeah.
So I think she gets to stay at -5.
I agree.
I'm personally granting her a reprieve. She gets to take a week to really just maybe take care of herself a little.
Olenna Tyrell. Clearly, she has some knowledge of this whole Joffrey death plot. She really is kind of looking out for her family, and by her own words, Margaery is better off without Joffrey.
She is this cunning, amazing champion who has just sort of taken that and run with it, and now her approach with Margaery is, listen, I'm gonna build you up. We're gonna get there together as ladies, and I will murder people to do it.
To kill a man at a wedding. Who would do such a thing?
So she didn't really do a whole lot this episode. However, just because of the insight, which gave us some clues as to why she might have done something in the past episode, I give her a point.
Yeah.
1 point for Olenna Tyrell.
1 point. And she just deserves complimentary sass points
All the time.
So Nana Tyrell currently at 4.
Sansa Stark.
Oh god.
I don't think anyone can argue she's in a position that looks too great.
She, I think, was beginning to have a grasp on the fact that, she was doing well. And then, God, when she realized she was on that ship with Littlefinger, she was like, no!
Although she is definitely better off on the murder boat than in King's Landing, because I think they would have just hung her out of principle.
Yeah.
Whether they thought she was guilty of poisoning Joffrey or not.
Yeah.
So
she would not have done well.
No, but oh god.
Still.
Arya Stark.
The Hound keeps screwing stuff up. She keeps trying to set stuff up to be we're gonna just ride on through and get to where we're going, and why are you ruining this right now?
I know.
Shut the fuck up and eat the stew, and then we'll just
leave. The only point I could argue on Arya's behalf was that she did show some real tact and wisdom when she was asked what house they fought for, and she went with the Tullys.
Yeah, that was
she
a good
did.
idea.
I would give her a point for that.
Good choice, Arya.
Yeah, I'll give her a point for being smart, but that's all she gets.
Yeah, sorry, Arya. No Brienne this episode. And finally, Ygritte. For me, Ygritte's on the board because she's showing that, she means business.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Girl is in this game. She's gonna get over that wall, and, Lord help Castle Black.
Oh, God help you, Jon Snow.
And also, having to hang out with these creepy
cannibal
dudes and, just keeping it together while hanging out with creepy cannibal dudes, I think that gets a point.
Yeah.
So 1 for you, Ygritte.
And Ellaria Sand was also in this episode, but once again didn't really do anything except, make out with a gay dude and finally hook up with the curvy redheaded prostitute that she wanted from the beginning. So I guess maybe that's something.
Do you think maybe she deserves a point for getting to have at least her half of the orgy. I don't think Oberyn got his half of the orgy, but she definitely did. I wonder if that's point worthy.
I'll give her half a point.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so that'll wrap up this episode of Game of Thrones. Remember to keep voting via social media or YouTube comments for whichever lady you think should receive points in this episode. Just this episode
No spoilers
of Game of Thrones, and we will tally up your own votes with our votes and present them at the beginning of the episode next week. And speaking of social media, you can always connect with us via social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video if you liked it, follow us on Twitter at NerdStreet, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. We've got it all going on. So guys, get those votes in, and we will see you next week.